Tell us your name and your DOC number.
My name is Ronald Kyles, 227417.
I see you have counsel with you today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Jennifer Cameron on behalf of Ronald Kyles.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I was talking, so we don't have it on the record.
Jennifer Cameron for Mr. Kyles.
All right, I didn't be listed. So hold on. All right, thank you. So Mr. Kyles, I'll read some information into the record. We'll ask you some questions. We'll hear from the warden, and if you'd like, you can make a statement before we turn it over to Ms. Cameron to close it out for us. Okay, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Mr. Ronald Kyles, you're classified as a 6th felony offender. You're currently serving a life sentence as a habitual offender at a Washington parish for simple burglary. Your parole eligibility date was August 1st, 2021. Does that sound right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, how old are you, sir?
59.
79?
59.
I had done the math wrong. How long you been in jail on this?
17 years.
Is that right? Okay. When did you first learn you would be parole eligible?
Oh, about 21.
So let's talk about what you've been able to do. I see in 2011 you took Living in Balance.
Yes, ma'am.
You finished it though, did you?
Ma'am.
Did you finish Living in Balance? Do you remember
Yes,
that? You finished it? When
Yes,
did
I
you
did.
finish that? Oh, I do see you completed it July 2011,
Yes, ma'am.
before you knew you were going to have a parole date. You also did an anger management class in 2011, and then in 2018 you did Thinking for Change. What'd you get out of Thinking for Change?
Well, it was more like a life skill. What I got out of it was the way I was carrying myself. I knew I needed to make a change in life, period.
And so what did you change?
Oh, I changed my attitude. I changed my ways of thinking. You know, I don't think negative about everything no more. No, I think rational now instead of irrational.
Well, good. So as I look at your conduct record, then I see, let's see, in 2022, August of last year, a little over a year ago, you got a contraband charge. What was the contraband?
Oh, I had a broke tablet.
The broke tablet, you say?
Yes, ma'am. It was a tablet that was rigged up that we didn't supposed to have. And I got caught with it.
Yeah. Why'd you have it?
Watching the movie.
And then prior to that, well, the one prior to that was a low court write-up. And then before that, in March of 19, you went to the working cell block for an offense. All of that was after you finished with that Thinking for Change class that we talked about. So I'm a little concerned about that. You have a lengthy arrest history. Seems like you have a lot of theft charges. Tell us what was going on with you in your life.
Oh, I was on drugs and stealing and burglarizing houses to pay for my drugs.
What kind of drugs?
Crack cocaine.
That was it. How old were you when you started using illegal drugs?
Oh, it was very early, but I dove in. first when I was
About how old were you?
about 22.
About 22? You started with crack cocaine?
That's now free basic.
Did you drink also? Alcohol?
A little bit, not that much though.
Just the crack?
Yes, ma'am.
At least one of your victims is stated they're not opposed to an early release for you. And I see you have been working on your GED. You haven't been able to get that yet?
No, ma'am.
Are you still enrolled?
I've been trying.
You still enrolled?
No, ma'am. Right now, I'm in another program right now.
Which one are you in?
I'm in a one you call sober living.
Oh, well, good. How long you been in that program?
Oh, it's been about 2 months now.
You got anything out of it so far?
Yes, ma'am. I've been getting a lot.
Well, give us an example. Tell us so far, what's the most important thing you think you've learned?
Well, I had to change my attitude. I had to change my heart from the way I've been thinking and the way I decide my decisions. I had to change all that up, you know, like transforming myself to be a better person, to think better, to do things better, to make better choices in life than what I was doing before.
You have any family?
Yes, ma'am. I have a brother left. All the rest of my family is deceased. I have one brother left. I just lost my last little sister, July 4th.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You so your brother, did he know you were coming up today? Is he there with you?
Yeah, he's supposed to have been on the Zoom.
Okay. Well, I don't think we have anybody. Maybe he's watching on YouTube. What if you were successful today? What would be your transition plan? Where would you live?
I would live with my brother
Where's he live?
in New Orleans.
How would you support yourself? You rely on him?
I'll work with him.
What's he do?
He owns a pet store supply for animals.
Is he a younger brother?
Yes, ma'am.
Any children of yours?
What-
Do you have children?
all his children are grown.
No, do you have any children?
Oh, yeah, I had one son, but he passed away he got killed in 2011.
Oh my goodness. You had a lot of trauma in your life, huh? A lot of disappointments.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's different today about Ronald Kyles than the Ronald Kyles that came to prison about 17 years ago?
I'm a more better person now. I'm no longer fooling with drugs. I make better decisions. You know, I can live like a normal human being now.
All right. Well, Warden, is there anything you can add?
Yes, Mr. Renata, like you mentioned, he's in sober living, which is a new program we started a few months ago, where it's in-house, in-dorm, where they can't mix with the other population. It's very structured. He's doing well in that program, you know, staying clean. I would like to see him, honestly, I would like to see him get some long-term substance abuse treatment and continue that, because like you said, he's had a long history of substance abuse issues and burglaries to, like he said, to support his habit. So I would definitely encourage him to seek that and continue his substance abuse treatment.
So is there, for the sober living dorm, do you live there indefinitely? How does that program work?
It's until the mentors and the program managers and social workers, until they feel that he's ready to graduate out of it, then he would go to a less restrictive area.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Rushing.
One more long.
Yes, sir.
How long was he in the maximum working cell block in 2019?
It looks like he went in there around March, looks like.
Yes.
Until June. Looks like he came out in June and got a job as a nursing aide.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, I don't see any other questions, Mr. Kyles. Is there a statement you want to say to us before we turn it over to your attorney?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate y'all having me here today. I'm very thankful. And I'm very sorry about the problems that I didn't cause. Any hurt I didn't cause to anybody. I apologize. And I thank y'all.
All right, Ms. Cameron.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, thank y'all for allowing me to appear on Mr. Kyles' behalf. I'd like to clarify a little bit of the information that y'all were going over. Mr. Kyles actually began his drug addiction in his teens. When he was 22 and his dad passed away, his crack cocaine addiction became severe. And it did in fact continue, his drug addiction did continue in his incarceration. In 2011, he got a phone call from his wife telling him that his son had been shot point blank in the head while with his girlfriend in Tennessee. That phone call caused Mr. Kyles to fall to the ground and ask God for help. That began his sober path. He's actually been sober since that day. He has not had another issue with using drugs since that day in 2011. As y'all can see from his record, he spent most of his incarceration at Angola and has only been here at Hunt since December. When he arrived here at Hunt, he realized that drugs were a little bit too accessible in the dorms and asked to be put in the sober living dorm. And he's actually been in that dorm since March, according to a facilitator of the program. I'm not sure why his brother isn't on Zoom today. We had discussed that he was going to speak on his brother's behalf. Mr. Eric, who is Mr. Kyles' youngest brother, does own a pet food store in West New Orleans. We have already arranged for the closest AA and NA programs to that address for Mr. Kyles. One of those is actually at the Cornerstone United Methodist Church, which also has a re-entry program we're going to try to get him in. That's run by a former offender from Angola. Mr. Kyles has learned to identify his triggers and the loss of most of his family. As he said, the only people he has left is his younger brother. He does have a granddaughter that he's looking forward to spending time with, and who is the catalyst for him, or one of the catalysts for him remaining sober and knowing that he needs to do better in his life. As far as his GED goes, he has been granted an exception because he does have mental health issues. We have already discussed with him continuing the drugs that keep him on the right path mentally as well. He knows that he has to have those drugs in order to maintain his clarity in his life. So those are for his, I'm not a medical professional, so let me find the letter so I can tell you exactly what his diagnosis is. My apologies, I should have had that. He has a schizoaffective disorder, depressive type, and he takes daily drugs to treat that. And he has a letter from Matthew Gamble from the doctor at Angola that exempted him from the GED program because of that. Mr. Kyles his brother is planning on him working day in, day out. We actually discussed that 6 days a week at the pet store. Other than that, he is planning on taking care of his mental health and going to his AANA program so that he can maintain his sobriety. I believe that Mr. Kyles is ready to enter the world. He does have a very solid plan in place. His brother is a huge advocate and adamant that he will help Mr. Kyles stay on the right path. So we just ask that the board grant him mercy today and allow him to embark on his next path in life. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Kyles. Your case is troubling somewhat. I'm glad to know that you are compliant with your mental health medication. I'm glad to know that you have the support of your brother, your family member, and that he is willing to provide you with a job. I do agree with the warden, though. I believe that you would benefit from some long-term substance abuse treatment. I'm encouraged by the fact that you asked to be placed in that sober living dorm. That tells me a lot about your desires to really change your life. So my vote would be to grant your parole. I mean, it's a big chance, taking a chance on you, but I think your age has some.
I won't let you down.
After you complete a DOC substance abuse treatment program, because based on your long-term substance abuse history, and then to the Cornerstone Reentry program plan that Ms. Cameron has outlined for us, and then we ask that you have a mental health evaluation and comply with any recommendations, including compliance with your medication.
Yes, ma'am.
Just one vote. That's my vote, Mr. Roshan.
Mr. Kyles, my vote is the same reasons, under the same conditions.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Kyles, I concur with my colleagues. My vote is the same for the same reasons. Best wishes to you.
Thank you very much.
You still got a little work to do before you go home, though. Good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am.